Hi everyone, welcome to the lecture number 6 of unit number 2 applications of matrices. In this lecture we'll start with the new content of this unit, next content of this unit, that is Sylvester's theorem. This theorem we are having without proof, okay, in our syllabus. We are just going to use we are just going to make use of the statement of this theorem in the examples. So let us try to understand the statement of this theorem. If P of A is equal to C0I capital I plus C1A plus C2A square plus dot plus Cn A raised to n is a polynomial where A is a square matrix and having n eigenvalues lambda 1, lambda 2 dot up to lambda n, and C0, C1, Cn are being constants, and I capital I is the unit matrix, or you can say identity matrix, then by Sylvester's theorem we have the value of this polynomial or function of A. You can say that P of A, the value is equal to summation I ranges from 1 to n, P of lambda I into Z of lambda I, where this lambda I are ranging from 1 to n, lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n are the eigenvalues of this matrix A. Then P of A equal to this summation, addition of these n terms, P of lambda 1, Z of lambda 1, you can write this as P of lambda, if you put lambda equal to 1, I equal to 1, we'll have here P of lambda 1 into Z of lambda 1 plus, for I equal to 2, P of lambda 2 into Z of lambda 2 plus dot up to P of lambda n into Z of lambda n. Now, where the value, what is the meaning of P of A? You know, P of A is this function, okay? If you put in that lambda, you'll get the value of P of lambda I. But what is Z of lambda I? Z of lambda I is this quantity adjoint of lambda I minus A divided by f dash of lambda at lambda equal to lambda I is the value of Z of lambda I. So you need to calculate this adjoint of lambda I minus A divided by f dash of lambda at the lambda equal to lambda I for calculating Z of lambda I. Now for calculating f dash of lambda, you must know value of f of lambda. It is determinant of lambda I minus A, okay, which is this matrix lambda I minus A. First A matrix will be in the front of you. You can calculate from that lambda I minus A. So its determinant will be your f of lambda and its derivative is f dash of lambda. And this determinant, when you equate to 0, you will get a characteristic equation, okay, after equating to 0. And this is like characteristic polynomial, okay. Now for in examples of Sylvester's theorem, you need to calculate the value of P of A. Some function of A will be in front of you, okay, and the value of P of A can be calculated using this formula, okay, that is summation I ranges from 1 to n, P of lambda I, Z of lambda I. This you need to remember well. And again, what is the value of Z of lambda I? That you also must know, adjoint of lambda I minus A divided by f dash of lambda, where f of lambda I is determinant of lambda I minus A, which is the characteristic polynomial of that matrix, okay. Now let us start the examples on Sylvester's theorem so that you will understand how we are going to make use of these formulas and this result in the examples, okay. So this is what the statement of the Sylvester's theorem is. Just you need to remember this and these formulas, okay. Now example, using Sylvester's theorem, where we can obtain value of P of A of this type. Means you can, if you are having polynomial in the form of A, like A raised to 100, A raised to 10, higher powers of matrix also you can determine using Sylvester's theorem, okay. Or if you have some function of A on this side, that also, its value also you can determine using Sylvester's theorem, okay. Now let us see the example. If A equal to this matrix 2 by 2 matrix, in most of the example you will have 2 by 2 matrix only in the examples of Sylvester's theorem. Find A raised to 50 by Sylvester's theorem. Now whatever the value you are going to calculate using Sylvester's theorem, that value you need to denote by P of A, because this P of A we calculate using Sylvester's theorem, which is a polynomial in A raised to 50, or you can say function of A, okay. So this is a function of A. This function we are going to calculate using Sylvester's theorem, and for this given matrix A, okay. So if A is equal to 1 0 0 3, then lambda I minus A we can calculate from this lambda I, where I is identity matrix of order, same order, that is 2. So lambda I minus A will be subtract from lambda I. Lambda I will be the matrix, this lambda 0 0 lambda. If you subtract from this matrix A, you will get this matrix lambda minus 1, 0 as it is, 0 minus 0 is 0, then 0 and lambda minus 3. So this will be the lambda I minus A. Now why we have calculated this matrix? Because we are going to find from this f of lambda and adjoint of lambda minus A. So for calculating f of lambda, we need to calculate determinant of this matrix. So determinant of this lambda I minus A is very easy. That is lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 3, which is equal to lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 3. And this value is nothing but the value of what? F of lambda. So f of lambda we have with us. Now from this you can determine the characteristic equation. Why we are going to determine, why we need characteristic equation? Because we need the eigenvalues of that matrix also. Okay. So for writing characteristic equation, whatever polynomial you have obtained here, just equate that to 0. Now after that, we determine the roots of this characteristic equation. The roots of this characteristic equation are 1 and 3. Hence the eigenvalues are lambda 1 and lambda 2 equal to 3. Lambda 1 equal to 1, lambda 2 equal to 3. Now adjoint of lambda minus A, lambda I minus A is what? Lambda minus 3, 0, 0, lambda minus 1. How we calculate adjoint of a 2 by 2 matrix? If A, B, C, D is my matrix, A equal to this matrix, then adjoint of A, how we calculate? A, B, C, D. We interchange the diagonal entries. We take D here and A here. This is the first thing. And then whatever the entries you are having, non-diagonal entries, we make them negative. Okay. So this is how you can obtain adjoint of a 2 by 2 matrix. It is easy to calculate adjoint of a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay. And when you have to calculate adjoint of 3 by 3 matrix, then you need to calculate minus cofactor, and after that we determine its adjoint by using minor cofactor concept for a 3 by 3 matrix. But in the problems you are going to have only 2 by 2 matrix in most of the problems. So in that case it will be easy to calculate adjoint using this formula. Fine. Now adjoint of lambda I minus A I have written. Lambda I minus A we have already calculated. Its adjoint will be lambda minus 3, 0, 0, lambda minus 1. Now if you differentiate f of lambda, you will get f dash of lambda as 2 lambda minus 4. Fine. Now we have both with us, lambda I minus A, f dash of lambda. So let us calculate z of lambda. Okay. Z of lambda is what? By definition, adjoint of lambda I minus A divided by f dash of lambda. If you put these two values here, we will get some matrix, right? And this z of lambda we are going to calculate at these two eigenvalues. So lambda equal to 1, z of 1 will be, if you put 1, here we will get I minus A. This is the matrix adjoint of lambda minus. If you put lambda equal to 1, so 1 minus 3, minus 2, 0, 0, 1 minus 1, 0. And f dash of lambda, if you put lambda equal to 1, 2 minus 4 is minus 2. So it is equal to minus half, because it is in the denominator. So 1 by minus 2, that is minus half. So minus half into this matrix, finally it will be equal to 1, 0, 0, 0. Now same thing we are going to repeat for lambda equal to 3. Put lambda equal to 3 in this equation. So adjoint of lambda I minus A at 3 is 3 minus 3 is 0, 0, 0, 3 minus 1, 2. So we will get this matrix. And f dash of lambda at lambda equal to 3, 2 into 2, 3 is 6, minus 4, that is 2. So it is 1 by 2. Okay. So after multiplying this 1 by 2 inside, we will get this matrix. Now two matrices we are having. These are the values of z of 1 and z of 3. And one more thing you must remember, the values of z of lambda you will get in terms of a matrix only. Okay. Now along with z of lambda we need p of lambda also. So very first you write again here p of A. This is the given matrix, right? P of A is what value we are going to calculate? A raised to 50. So as this is p of A, p of lambda will be lambda raised, we are replacing A by lambda. So we will get p of lambda is lambda raised to 50. Now this value of this p of lambda at both eigenvalues, p of 1, 1 raised to 50, p of 3, 3 raised to 50. Now let us use the Sylvester theorem. By Sylvester theorem, we have determined all these quantities. Therefore, now we can apply the Sylvester theorem. By Sylvester theorem, P of A is equal to, here two eigenvalues we are having. So summation will range from 1 to 2. P of lambda I, Z of lambda I. Now, what eigenvalues we are having? Lambda 1, lambda 2. We are having lambda equal to 1, lambda 2 equal to 3. So P of 1 into Z of 1 plus P of 3 into Z of 3. Only two eigenvalues we are having. So two terms will get. Okay. Now these values we have determined already. Right. Now substitute them. P of 1 is 1 raised to 50. Z of 1 is this matrix 1 0 0 0. That I will substitute. P of 3 is 3 raised to 50. This is 3 raised to 50. Okay. and this second matrix is what? This 0 0 0 1. Now if you do the addition of, if you multiply by this 1 raised to 50 inside, 3 raised to 50 inside, and if you do the addition of two matrices, we'll get P of A, that is A raised to 50. P of A is what? A raised to 50 equal to 1 raised to 50, 0, 3 raised to 50. These 50s are in the power. Okay, I could have written here 1 raised to 50 as 1, but for your, just for your understanding, I have written that as 1 raised to 50, so that you will understand it is the power of 50th power of A. Okay, so A raised to 50 is 1 raised to 50, 0, 0, 3 raised to 50. So this is how you can determine the value of that P of A equal to A raised to 50 using Sylvester theorem. Now few more problems of this type we are going to do in coming lecture. Okay, now one problem I am giving for you for practice. Try to complete this problem using above technique. If M instead of A, I have written the notation M for the matrix, it is 2 1 3 4. Find the value of M square minus 3M plus I using Sylvester theorem. Now here, for solving this example, you need to consider the value of P of M as M, whatever value you are going to calculate, that value you need to consider as that function P of A. Instead of M, we have here M. Okay, so you can replace it by A also, and then you do the calculation. At the end you replace A by M. Okay, so P of M is what? M square minus 3M plus I. So starting from P of M equal to this, again repeat all the calculations, okay, of Sylvester theorem, and try to get the value of M square minus 3M plus I using Sylvester theorem. Fine. So here instead of A raised to 50, you are having M square minus 3M plus I. On the right hand side, it is 2 by 2 matrix. Again these two terms you need to calculate. So whatever eigenvalues you will have, that eigenvalues will be here. So calculate P of that eigenvalue, whatever eigenvalues you will get for this matrix. Then Z of that, Z of the whatever eigenvalue you will get here, of that you calculate Z, and do similarly in like previous example. Definitely you can do it. So hope you understood the discussion of this Sylvester theorem. In coming lecture we will do more examples on Sylvester theorem. Thank you.